You bring up the Rudy Gobert and the Yusuf Nurkic incident because that's Stephen A's way of trying to lessen the impact of what you may say back. I'm going to throw out these negative ass things that happened with you many years ago that you've come back from, that you've moved past. I'm going to throw those things out to try to gather an audience, to try to gather a crew to be on my side, a base of people to be on my side. So I'm going to throw these things out to remind these people that may have been upset that you did that because they may not like those types of things or whatever. I'm going to remind them of that so they can be on my side when I say this. A typical Stephen A thing. He said we have not spoke since. I think that, those things happen to be right around the time where a lot of people in the industry felt like this dude took this sharp left turn.
Jay Hill and Draymond Green both spoke out about him, and after that, you could see how much it got under his skin. It seems like every time somebody black brings up his name right now, he feels the need to immediately respond. Even he admitted in the video that he was supposed to be enjoying his vacation, but instead of staying away from the internet, he jumped back online because Jay Hill and Draymond Green called him out.
You have to always keep in mind, what is the agenda of the person telling me this? And so that's what I thought was very interesting about the Jaylen Brown discourse is, why is there all of a sudden this driving narrative about how he is some kind of analytical disappointment? Like, where is that coming from? Who stands to gain from this? What is the purpose and why is this coming out? And even the idea that he got, smartest man in the room syndrome, which is a bizarre.
What's wrong with that?
Yeah, I mean, what they were really saying, what they was really saying.
Now, bringing it back to Stephen A. Smith, because Jamel Hill's point was that some of these analysts are basically telling Jaylen Brown to just stay quiet and focus on basketball. Stephen A. Smith ended up responding to both Jamel Hill and Draymond Green. So let's take a look at what he had to say. And before we get into that, if you enjoy the video, make sure you hit that thumbs up because it helps support the channel and I really appreciate it. Thank you.
I'll be like, yeah, I said you fucked.
What you laughing about, Jamel Hill? Somebody that's not in the locker room? Are you implying that you've been in the locker room more than me in my career? Come on, where you gonna stop dancing around issues involving me and tell them what's up? You and I were pretty tight. And then after the choking incident with Rudy Gobert and the slap to Yusuf Nurkic, I upset you because I called you and said it was difficult to defend you. I'm not saying anything out of pocket or personal because this is what you said to Shaq on his podcast. So it was already public information. It's the only reason I'm revealing it. I'm not saying anything else about any of our conversations throughout the years, my brother. We've never talked since that time. But can you at least acknowledge to the people while you're talking publicly, if we're keeping it a buck, that when you went on Shaq's podcast and you said that that's the first time I knew you were upset at me? I didn't even know.
You bring up the Rudy Gobert and the Yusuf Nurkic incident because that's Stephen A's way of trying to lessen the impact of what you may say back. I'm going to throw out these negative ass things that happened with you many years ago that you've come back from, that you've moved past. I'm going to throw those things out to try to gather an audience, to try to gather a crew to be on my side, a base of people to be on my side. So I'm going to throw these things out to remind these people that may have been upset that you did that because they may not like those types of things or whatever. I'm going to remind them of that so they can be on my side when I say this. A typical Stephen A thing. He said we have not spoke since. I think that, those things happen to be right around the time where a lot of people in the industry felt like this dude took this sharp left turn, and all of a sudden became like this. You speak on Jaylen Brown. The problem I had with Stephen A. and Jaylen Brown was when you called him out like a mob boss. When you sat in front of the camera and spoke as if you saw him, you was going to do something to him. That's the problem I had when speaking about Jaylen Brown. The issue that I have, and by the way, it's not a real issue because people, again, I go back to the statement I made about Shams, which these are in two completely different capacities. But get your money how you get your money, man. Like, I'm not mad at anybody for how they get their money. That's including Stephen A. So for a guy who actually, yes, what he is right about is we were pretty tight. As was Stephen A. with a lot of guys, by the way. Like, that wasn't just me. I think, and being in the media space, I think we had built even more of a relationship because he is the guy in the media space. When you look at him, he is right up there at the top of the chart with Charles Barkley and, for the likes of people like that. Like, you are that. I'm not some hater. I'm also a truth teller. You very much so are right up there at the top, and very appreciative throughout the years of the advice given, as someone who's continued to try to elevate and learn and work in this space. So yeah, those are all facts. Just like a lot of players having a relationship with you were facts. Until you started to disrespect players as if you were a player. There's a fine line. And Jamel and my conversation was about this. I mentioned Stephen A. Smith's name because Stephen A. is the one that's always speaking on being a journalist, on how his background is journalism. And by the way, no one ever doubted that. If you watch what Jamel and I were talking about, Stephen A., the problem I have is you get upset about the very thing that you do. You get so upset and bent out of shape about the very thing that you do. For instance, I had a problem with Jaylen Brown or whatever. Let's see, I'm gonna go back to the quote. Y'all forgot the fact that I did a sit down with him face to face in Boston a year ago, after he had a problem with what I said, when all I said was what other people said. Number one, say what you say. And if you're gonna quote it, stand on that. All I said was what other people say. You can't always throw it to somebody else. You said it and it's fine. By the way, regardless of what other people said, if you say it, it's yours now. If I go sample a song, every time that song come on and I sampled Jay-Z's song, every time that song come on, they ain't gonna say Draymond Green's song sampled by
Draymond Green and Jalen Rose have both spoken on this situation, and you can tell there's a lot of frustration toward the way some journalists operate today. The main issue being brought up is that certain media personalities, especially those with podcasts, can turn any controversy or disagreement into content to promote their next episode. That lines up with what Jalen Rose was saying when he called out members of the media. So let me know your thoughts in the comments about everything discussed in today's video. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. I'll catch you all in the next one, and we're out.